Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is my review for The Protector Season 2. So The Protector Season 2 has less episodes than Season 1 did. Season 1 had 10, Season 2 has 7. But nevertheless, I've watched them all, so I'm here to tell you what it's like. Season 2, spoiler-free review, so feel free to watch the review at ease and then let me know what you thought about it. Are you as anticipated for this season? Are you as excited for this season in the comments below? But let's jump into the review. In Season 1 of The Protector, we see Hakan become the Protector, and he's trained somewhat, although he's kind of pulling against this whole world. We see the world of the Immortals come to fruition somewhat, and we see a bunch of relationships with Hakan formed and the Immortals, and we get a glimpse as to where this kind of power comes from. And now in Season 2, the Immortals have their kind of plan that they want to kind of take over the world, and the Protector and his team have to kind of, thwart the plans. Season 2 I thought was really interesting. I have mixed feelings about Season 2 because the storylines go in a number of ways, and I don't think it always hits the mark. Nevertheless, I think the protagonist was quite good. I thought he was great in Season 1, and I think here he's great as the lead, the Hakan character, the Protector, and I think he's great in this role. I think they've built upon his character and defined his character more. Unfortunately, there are these sub-characters that are with him that they haven't defined as much, and as you progress through the storylines, there are these moments where things happen to these characters, well, I'm not going to say what, and you're meant to feel an emotional tie to them, which I didn't at points because they didn't build upon their storylines. They really needed to do that for this season. So I was somewhat disappointed in that, and actually it took me a couple of episodes to get into the series again because it's filmed a certain way. It's not normal like an American standard or UK standard, which is fine. I love expanding my horizons on series like this. So it did take me I think about 3 episodes to get into it again until I felt like the season found its feet. But from about episode 4 to 7 I really felt like they kicked up a gear. It got dark, there was torture, and I felt like they really kind of got into the nitty-gritty of the kind of arc that they needed to, maybe a little bit earlier on. And earlier on they were kind of trying to put you back in the world and define the characters somewhat and help you understand what these characters are going for. And talking about that, the Hakan character, he basically all the time chooses the wrong choice. He reacts with emotion, and so every time he is meant to listen to his trainers and listen to his group, instead of doing that, he kind of goes off on his own, half-cocked, without a plan, and the shit hits the wall, or the shit hits the fan. Hits the wall? That'd be horrible. Shit hits the fan would also be horrible. Nevertheless, it's just bad, and I got a little bit annoyed with this character, the way he was defined, the way they wrote his character, because you can forgive him not listening and going on his own way and doing his own thing for a little while, but your hero has to learn. There's this like anti-hero law where your character has to progress, and he does get to a point where he kind of believes who he is and he takes on board the Protector role. But unfortunately, it took a long time to get there, and I would say that's not just a trait just for his character, but also the others. A lot of the time you have this group of Protectors that are meant to be like really have it together and figure out and go against the bad guys, go against these Immortals that are really powerful and strong, but they are bickering and fighting with each other, and they come across like teenagers that immature children, not even teenagers, children that are bickering and fighting, and they shouldn't be doing that sort of thing. You think they'd have a little bit of foresight to go, hang on, we're going to put our emotions and stuff aside and actually just deal with the issue. So which was written in a strange way that I wasn't quite expecting. Nevertheless, from episode 4 I did enjoy it. There were moments and action sequences that I thought the storyline was really kind of delving into the story arc of what the Protector is. It is based on a book. You get to learn more about what the author was creating this world, and I believe there's going to be 4 seasons, so you get to understand some of that. They give you some of that. I do hope they keep showing us more the kind of history of the Protector and the Immortals and where that comes from, because that to me is probably the strongest part of the arc. It's the most interesting bit. Now I have to talk about the fighting sequences as one of the things that I felt was weakest in the first season. Where in season 1, the fight sequences were fun, but it was always cut in a way to make you feel like the actors didn't actually know how to fight really well. And you get that in season 2 as well. I think the choreography needs to be raised a few bars, with considering what you get here on Netflix, like with Daredevil and Jessica Jones, and just any kind of fight sequence choreography. I felt like the one of the weakest parts of this season particularly was the fight sequences. There was even a moment when I saw the camera cut from one angle and then it cut to another angle, and it didn't make any sense at all. It was basically trying to give the actor a break so they could move the character around, move the camera around the actor, so the actor didn't have to perform the sequence. And I thought that was weird, considering how strong they are. They looked physically fit. They could definitely learn sequences. So I don't know, maybe that's just part of the culture or how it's filmed and how it's defined, but I would have liked just a bit more definition, a bit more action sequences in the fighting, and I was hoping to get some sword. This is a supernatural series, and these heroes are meant to be able to do things that are not normal, and they're meant to be trained to such a way that, you know, it's just amazing. And so I was expecting things like sword play and, you know, running on the wall and jumping over, just action sequences that would set the series above kind of normal set pieces. I was hoping that they would really kind of push the boundaries of what you get in television. Be brave a little. I felt like they didn't really do that. I felt it was a little bit safe in this series. I did enjoy it, but I almost feel like I enjoyed season 1 more. You do get more of the story fleshed, and I was glad they did that. But by the end of episode 7, I was kind of glad it ended. It does end on a cliffhanger again, so we know we're going to get seasons 3 and 4, because I think that's what they want to do for the whole book, that they're all this 4 parts. I know we're going to get more seasons, and it did end on the cliffhanger again, which I think is making you kind of want to go on and watch the next. But I was kind of left with a bit, I was hoping they did more with this series. I think ultimately I enjoyed season 1 more. I was hoping they were going to do more with season 2. If you're a fan of this series, I think you'll still enjoy it. Like I said, from episode 4 onwards, I thought it was good. That it kept me engrossed for the most part, but I do have my issues with it. So I'm going to give The Protector season 2 a C+. Let me know what you thought about this series, or say season 2 especially, in the comments below. Would you like me to talk about a spoiler review of season 2 and talk about the nitty gritty, the ins and outs of where the storylines went? I was doing my best not to give away things in this. I hope I did that. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.